There was a great and mighty ship. Poseidon was her name. She had a well-known history, a legendary fame. She served her owners faithfully for over 30 years, carrying passengers and troops across the seven seas. She was a treat for presidents, a masterpiece to royals. No other liners matched the speed she held within her boilers. Her ballroom was a wish come true. Her staterooms were a dream. As an achievement of great minds, she was by many seen. And no one even thought for once, no one even imagined the tragic end that she would meet. No other ship would match her. On New Year's Eve, that fateful night, she was on her last crossing before they towed her to the yards and cut her up to nothing. She had been sailing at full speed to please her new strict owner, carrying crew and passengers, full 1,400 on her. They were all counting down from 10 to welcome a new year. They did not know that very soon their joy would disappear. The ground shook with violent rage, somewhere not far from Crete. It seemed as if a sea monster awakened to go eat. The sea shook as if in a glass, and a great wave soon rose. The terror of the startled crew, nobody but them knows. Poseidon was a giant ship, and as she turned to flee, the god whose name she carried seemed to let his anger free. Just moments passed before the ship collapsed from mortal wounds. 1 second she was on her keel, the other upside down. People were falling to their death, mothers heard children crying, and then dead silence up until those who survived the mayhem came back to consciousness and all began with true fear praying. Oh, why, my lord, what for are we in this cruel way punished? People were saying out loud as all hope seemed to vanish. Then, suddenly, a purser spoke with confidence and pride. As long as we stay where we are, we all should be all right. This ship's compartments are all sealed. There is no need to worry. I'm sure that help is on the way, and they are in great hurry. The crowd, somehow reassured, followed the man's advice, but suddenly a loud voice made all of them think twice. You're wrong, they heard a man call out. Help isn't on the way. The ship is going down fast. We'll drown if we stay. It was the Reverend Franz Scott, a pastor in exile, who was convinced to win in life is what we're all designed for. This is a trial, don't you see? We all are being tested. The Lord created us to be champions and contestants, he said as people looked at him like he was going mad. To say a thing that's so bizarre when they were all so sad? My plan is to abandon ship, to rise right towards salvation. One wouldn't need visions divine to have this revelation. The ship is telling us herself. Do you hear those explosions? Poseidon's final moments are already set in motion. Indeed, explosions rocked the ship. Fire came from her funnels. Her corridors had now become great, dark, and twisted tunnels. Hold there a minute, you mad priest, the purser screamed the answer. What do you know about ships, and why should your thought matter? I have assured you it's all right. Nobody should be stressed. We shall await for help right here, while hoping for the best. All right, the pastor said. To clearly understand, whoever wants to follow me, please let them raise their hand. And then only 10 hands went up. and all started to climb onto the crippled Christmas tree, salvation in their mind. All of a sudden, as they went, the ballroom started shaking, explosions coming from the floor as everything was breaking. All those who hadn't come along towards the huge tree were running. They wasted no time and no strength as they all started climbing. But they were climbing all at once, and no one realized that they had brought themselves to death. It caught them by surprise. Among them was the purser, who, now seeking salvation, fell into water, freezing cold, as if to his damnation. Meanwhile, the priest and all the rest were climbing towards their freedom. Their heart would tear itself apart if anyone would see them. They lost some friends along the way, a waiter, a brave woman who died while seeking a way out and showed she's truly human. Her husband then wanted to die, but Scott refused to leave him, reminding him that his true place was still among the living. He also rescued a small boy when he had almost drowned. Of the heroic deeds he did, they were all very proud. They then met other people who were heading the wrong way, and Scott had reassured them they would not survive the day. They finally came to a bridge very unbalanced, from which one breath could make you fall, and that was a true challenge. Under the bridge, they stared upon what seemed like hell itself, but most of them were handling the flames and heat quite well. Just one of them, a prostitute, fell right into the fire, even though she had ceased to sin and to improve was trying. All of a sudden, Scott just screamed. He simply couldn't take it. He thought he'd made a deal with God, but now they wouldn't make it. He took a jump and closed the valve that was the cause of flames, and upon God he then unleashed a fireball of blame. How many more lives will you take? How many more poor souls? We trusted you. We've come till here. You didn't help at all. To give or take, we know, of course. You always have the right. But if you want us to survive, against us, do not fight. And so, if you want one more life to make things go just fine, no need to wait, no need to kill. Don't hesitate. Take mine. Those final words he uttered as he fell right to his death and shouted to another man upon taking his last breath. I'm asking you to get them through, and don't you dare stop now. I'm offering a sacrifice. Now God won't let you down. The whole world seemed to darken as the passengers all screamed. The man they just saw falling, so resilient had seemed. They followed and admired him. He'd helped them to get through, and now he'd left them wondering if what he'd said was true. So once again, they lost all hope. They'd given up their fight, till they saw coming from above a blinding ray of light. Rescue had come! Scott had been right. Poseidon had been found by rescue ships and aircraft patrolling all around. Only 6 people had in all been given their salvation, and in the end they came to see a truthful revelation. Do not blame God for those who died. Don't curse him for your troubles. Life is a road, and he puts you through all the needed travels. And when it seems like you're alone, like he does not support you, please look around. Seek all the doors that he has opened for you. A little faith, and you will reach your final destination. Just like Poseidon's passengers had all earned their salvation.